as Jhin is going to be the ban coming out from Team WE here. And, wow, that's just 3 target bans straight up coming from Team WE here. Well, at least 2.
Well, they target ban xiye as well if we want to go all in. I think the Azir was fine, to be fair, but being on blue side means they might have another priority for that first pick. Twisted Fate being banned from them last time could stand out like a sore thumb.
Ezreal as well. So we are actually going to see the Fizz, Jhin, and Azir ban coming out from Team W as Game Talent's taking away the Vladimir, Ryze, and Kindred. Rek'Sai is left up and available, and it's instantly locked in here for Team WE. Like you mentioned, Karma still left on the table.
I think Karma should be picked as a matter of denial from Zero. He's got a good Bard, he's got a good Karma, but this one enables your team. And that's essentially what Zero does, is he plays the Tarry, gives you the stun when you're playing Hecarim, and just lets you do your work. But he sets you up very nicely on that pedestal to do it. Karma just does that more consistently. Bard's more of a playmaker, less reliant in that respect, and you know what? Let's just take everything the WE play.
Wow, Ezreal's going to be the lock-in coming in here for Game Talents. They do not want Mystic to be playing this champion. The 2 AD carries have been going off in this game, and I think that sums up the LPL. The AD carries are the hard carries here. So bottom lane instantly locked in for Game Talents.
But yeah, again, denial tools. Sure, PentaQ and Savoki can play these champions, but not to the same extent of their counterparts in this game. A lot of options still there for Mystic and Zero because nothing was banned from them, really. They could go Bard, they could still go Braum and deny all that poke as well. Or they could just out-sustain it.
They're going to lock in Viktor here, one of the champions that hasn't been changed since the mid-season changes. Has been fairly standard in the mid lane. We see him pop out from time to time. Is going to get locked in. Is in fact xiye's most played champion this split as well, as Nami is the supportive choice, who's been rising to popularity since MSI.
Yeah, so Nami gets picked up usually into, I'm going to say, very simple support-heavy lanes where you just want to heal people up and sustain. And the gauntlet has been thrown.
Hecarim is going to be the lock-in here, coming in for Game Talents as well as the Gragas. And judging by GimGoon's teleport and ignite some of the spells of choice, this should be a top lane Hecarim coming in for GT.
Certainly should be. So, again, we have to question, right? We go through game... Stop dropping your pen. We have to go through between game 1 and 2. Condi picks Hecarim. Perhaps it was a denial option from the top laner of GT.
Possibly.
Maybe he doesn't want to play it himself, and whilst it was still good, maybe GimGoon does it better.
Could be the same thing coming from Game Talents this time around, taking away the Ezreal from Mystic. Game Talents still have a chance, WE still have a chance to round out their team composition here after seeing Game Talents throwing this Hecarim up to the top side of the map. Haven't picked up their top laner just yet. But for now, they look like they want to go with Ashe and Trundle here.
Yeah, Ashe. Mystic definitely a good utility style champion. Ezreal seems to be where he excels. This should be no exception.
And Ashe is the lock-in of choice. They're not going to go with the Trundle. Instead, they pick up the Maokai for 957. One more time here.
Definitely a favorite of his, whether he likes it or not anyway.
It's going to be his 9th game on Maokai.
Yeah.
His next most played champion this split is Lissandra, of all champions, and then Nautilus.
Yeah. That's 9 out of 14. And what that says to me, because Nautilus is the 3rd most, is that they just need lockdown through that top laner. They need teleport flanks. They need him to be a team fight factor, and laning doesn't matter.
Well, the final pickup coming in for Game Talents here is going to be Kassadin. So, interesting turn of events. Now on the red side, it's Game Talents with the cute and interesting team composition, so to speak.
And Kassadin, historically in the LPL, has been picked into Viktor. I believe there was a 50% win rate through the 2nd split of last year, which means these champions, having not seen too much of change, should still be relatively even. We'll see how they play that one out naturally. Republic. All of GT throwing the gauntlet with their champion choices.
Wushuang onto the Gragas. Karma getting through champion select here as well. These are some interesting picks from the two teams one more time.
And the biggest trend we've noted is that bans on blue side are always targeted. It leaves open strong choices for them.
Well, let's see how these drafts are going to affect game number 2 of this best of 3 series. Coming on to Summoner's Rift here for game number 2 between Game Towns and Team WE. Currently, Game Towns are leading this best of 3 series 1-0 in a very surprising first game against Team WE. It's playing their style of League of Legends, taking them all the way to 50 minutes and beating them at their own game.
Yeah, GT, as far as the 1-0 is concerned in this series, have won in the most emphatic fashion that they could have. The statement has been made. The letter is stamped, but now they're yet to actually send that one home. There's only 1-0 up in this best of 3, and up against WE, who look a lot more stock standard this time around. Viktor in that middle lane as well for xiye. They've got an Ashe Nami bot lane, which is very meta. Condi on the best jungler potentially at the moment besides Kindred. And 957 right at home with that tree.
On the flip side, Game Towns just throwing the kitchen sink, it seems, with their champion choices. We get a chance to take a look at the Keystone Master we see very quickly. Pretty standard coming up from both these teams here. A further battle being run on the Hecarim top lane. Lots of kill threat coming in for the Horsey.
And not a lot of kill summoners, Keystone Mastery, sorry, on the supports in this bottom lane. Definitely going the sustain route. As GimGoon is the big question mark. He played Fizz. He got onto Mystic time and again. Hecarim entirely capable of doing that also. Because whilst the Ashe arrow will stun him, it won't stop him from ulting. He'll still cover the distance. And so they need to actually show some respect to what that pony can do. Otherwise it could run away with this game.
This match in particular, though, we are actually going to see no lane spots coming out from Team WE or Game Towns. Both bottom lane duos working on taking down a camp at level 1 instead.
Starting with the bubble to try and be more healthy with that clear means that PentaQ could look to be aggressive in that bottom lane. As this is the one that we said was a 50-50 when we look mid. Republican xiye, Viktor and Kassadin. Notorious lane for the LCK being Viktor-sided and the LPL being Kassadin one-sided. But yet they always seem to want this matchup.
So we can already see Republic getting some good trades in the mid lane. Trying to farm wherever he possibly can. Team WE, though, they're the ones that hit level 2 first down in this bottom lane. Already forced PentaQ towards the turret. And miss a little bit of CS here as well.
Yeah, and trying to beat WE with the team composition they've compiled this time, it's not going to be as easy to do. Early game pressure that they have just from laning phase causes some issues. And wushuang not exactly firing in this series. Needs to start showing up. He's got a Kassadin in the middle lane who doesn't have a lot of lane presence. A Hecarim who needs to start ramping with items. And a bottom lane against an Ashe and anybody is usually tough to win.
Well, let's see what they can do on this Gragas pick here. A very lackluster performance on Kindred last game with an unorthodox item build. So we are going to take a look at the mid lane here quickly. Republic taking quite a bit of poke damage coming out from xiye, but xiye has run out of mana. Both mid laners are running teleports. He could potentially go back to base and teleport back in. As Mystic and Zero being rather oppressive in this bottom lane against an Ezreal Karma.
Yeah. This is pretty standard. The Ashe has a lot of control of lane. And whilst Karma does a bit of damage, Ezreal has a fair chunk of poke. It's just too easy to hit your damage when you're Ashe. Start that W, and it's always guaranteed as Condi's made his first rotation here.
He's looking to try and jump on top of GimGoon here with the help of the Maokai. GimGoon jumps back on top of Condi instead. He's going to get locked down by the Maokai. GimGoon's got nowhere to run. Team W are going to get first blood here up at the top lane.
And Condi picks that one up because Condi does. Every time. And the first blood early rotation, remember, no flash available for GimGoon. No way to get out of that one alive. And the best case scenario for WE, because not a single summoner spell was burnt. And the top laner from GT goes down.
Immediately we see GimGoon use his teleport to get back into that lane. Clears out the tunnels being created by Rek'Sai. Just goes back to farming out with 957.
All of the precautions were taken there from GimGoon. Place the ward, make sure you're not being ganked. Clear the tunnel so that there's no flank. And pray that he's not still here. Thankfully he's not, because on the bottom side of the map is an Infernal Drake. And you don't want to overstay your welcome top side. Otherwise you could lose that one. You don't usually want to. It's the most important.
So we're checking with bottom lane really quickly here. CS is rather even between PentaQ and Mystic. Although it's slightly in Ashe's favor right now. Now PentaQ and Savoki are pushing out the lane We'll have to deal with the extra range and poke that will be coming out of Mystic and Zero. As mid laners have returned to the mid lane, opting not to use the teleport, instead walking back in. We see the Negatron cloak coming out from xiye, whose Republic has gone for the components of his Catalyst.
Yeah, so instead of going for magic resistance, he's looking towards the Catalyst. Definitely still a viable strategy for Kassadin given the changes to what the Catalyst provides. More sustain instead of just getting resistances where Viktor doesn't build Rod of Ages. He should be going for the Negatron cloak so he doesn't get pushed out by a level 6 spike the Republic will get sooner or later.
957's actually gone back to base as well here.
GimGoon's not exactly where he wants to be.
He's got to be a little bit careful because he's going to get locked down here. Condi's going to come up to the top lane as well. GimGoon going to try and run away. Hecarim is really low here. Like we mentioned earlier, no flash available on the horse. He's going to get taken down for the second time up in the top lane.
And they are picking on GimGoon. Just tick 6 as he died as well. Wushuang finally making something happen, perhaps, but he was spotted.
Chaos Storm was being put down there by xiye as well. Did not want to get jumped on by Republic and Wushuang.
Wushuang still hasn't checked the bush, and he's about to waste his Raptor Sense on it.
Meanwhile, the bottom lane, PentaQ taking a lot of damage, trading back and forth with Mystic and Zero. There goes that Raptor Sense, taking away the pink ward.
Yeah, the thing you don't need the Raptor Sense for. So very unfortunate for Wushuang, but didn't check the bush before he cleared the camp. And still, whilst he's 10 CS ahead, Condi's getting further ahead. The top lane has completely changed direction from game number 1 to 2. 957, he's arrived to play.
Certainly has, especially with the help of the Rek'Sai. Probably they're going to be able to take up his blue buff from Wushuang. This mid lane has been rather quiet here. Kassadin has been surviving, so to speak. Let's hit that level 6 mark, only being about a wave behind xiye.
Yeah, and one of the things Kassadin usually goes towards in this lane is a couple of extra levels in his Q. Of course, increasing the shield that you get in the way of magic damage. Quite important against the Viktor's burst. What you'll see is that they do that until they feel content.
This is cheeky coming from Condi there. Finds Wushuang inside of his own jungle. Gets a lot of damage down towards this Gragas, but will be forced to back away.
Yeah, and the smite battle begins. Condi will win the fight, but maybe not the smite battle. He just concedes.
Wushuang gives it away. Does not want to go toe-to-toe against this Rek'Sai. And Condi's just going to continue to be a pest inside of Gangtown's jungle.
Yeah, not with a Maokai winning lane and being able to roam around, and with a Kassadin that is constantly being pressured and stuck under the turret. There aren't a lot of winning scenarios as Savoki's caught.
Ashe are going to come out from Mystic as Savoki has to try and run away. Will flash out of this one. So lives to tell the tales. True Shot Barrage comes down. Clipped Zero. But not enough to trade, turn the tides of that fight.
No, but it clips somebody who has a heal as well. And realistically, Savoki burning both summoners and having half health. He's not a champion that can sustain himself. And that speaks disaster, plain and simple. For what was the bottom lane of GT. They're still scaling. They just want to get towards those first big items. And we're only 8 minutes in. But until that point, WE have control. And that's the thing with WE. As they get control, they just keep it for 40 minutes. And then they try and fight.
The 2,000 gold head, just from the 2 kills they got up top lane alone, has created a CS discrepancy between the top laners. And mid lane slightly in favor of xiye right now. Bottom lane also a small CS lead for Mystic. So they've just got really good winning lanes at the moment.
Yeah, marginal advantages. They start to eke out more and more from those. I'm waiting for the moment they actually look at the Drake. But until that point, all of the controls actually still there from GT. Teleports are available, so everybody could be there.
We have 4 teleports on Summoner's Rift for this match. Both the top laners and mid laners have taken it for game number 2.
And so much caution. Like, yes, we're still in early laning phase, and yes, we're still farming. The junglers are spending more time hitting each other than they are looking for gank avenues besides Condi's 2 in the top lane. And GimGoon is just going to be neutralized. The team fight presence will still be there from him. As Condi goes back up again and seals the deal.
Taking away as many camps as possible. But Wushuang going to flash it forward on top of xiye. Teleport's already being used towards this mid lane. xiye tries to put down a gravity field and a good Chaos Storm. The rest of TW is collapsing though. It's a very, very low. Viktor has to flash away. Wushuang eventually goes out. Mystic can't find the final ticks of damage. Meanwhile, bottom lane, a double kill going to come out from TWE. They open this game wide up.
Yeah, xiye's magic resistance is enough to keep him alive. Republic wastes summoner spells. And this trade across the map from WE goes so right. And everything just unfolds horrendously for GT. So talk about a sudden burst to the point of the camera not even being able to follow it all. This is, of course, the fight in the bottom lane. Their attention was elsewhere.
Yep.
Ezreal trying to hit that ultimate. Savoki just not being able to do anything. Zero hits a very clutch combo there.
Really caught out of position coming out from Game Talents. This has put Team WE 4,000 gold in the lead over Game Talents just 15 minutes into this match.
Yeah, this game, 4,000 gold, starts to become a wash pretty quickly. They still haven't looked at the Drake, but the control of the area is starting to shift more and more into WE's hands. You would imagine quick recalls, get that advantage that you've just secured from items in the 4,000. As long as it's actually there on the map, then they can look towards their very easy objectives. Stop trying to hit your support. Hit minions. He doesn't actually want to hit minions that have pushed the lane too fast, but...
Well, Game Talents, they've shown they can fight from behind and play Team WE at their own game, but this is a much larger deficit than what they faced in Game 1.
This is way larger. I don't think there was a deficit this great in the game for WE at all in the first one. Snowball's there. The Maokai is a tank champion that's ahead. Jungle is a Rek'Sai that's ahead, and Rek'Sai was banned from them in the first game. I still think the Ezreal and Karma pick were denial picks. And too much emphasis went on actually taking strength away from WE, not putting it into your own hands. This could ultimately be the undoing of GT.
Let's keep tabs on that as the game progresses. Now though, Team WE looking to try and further their advantage just through small increments in the laning phase.
Mystic just has so much control. That's the funny thing about this scenario as well, is you don't have to stop laning phase if you're this far ahead. Just continue playing it out slow, continue eking out further advantages, and just grow it to an unreasonably large amount.
You can see Mystic getting close to 30 CS ahead of PentaQ right now in this bottom lane on Ashe. Game Talents have some really interesting ways to lock down Ashe later on in the match, but they've got to go through a very beefy front line of Team WE. Now finally, this Infernal Dragon has been started by Team WE. Condi and Zero are going to be able to take this one down.
Man, you got to get to the point to find us later in the match. Right now, WE's win conditions is just rinsing and repeating what they're doing because it got them 4,000 gold ahead. GT need to pull something out, something different to turn this back in their favor.
We actually see the next dragon to spawn will be a mountain dragon, so very beneficial dragons spawning in favor of Team WE.
Definitely are.
As wushuang going to try and return the favor to Team WE and take away the blue buff from their side of the map.
Looks like Kassadin's not going to be getting this one though, and that's the difference. As the jungler getting the blue buff does not help the mid lane unless he helps the mid lane himself with said buff. Still, falling further and further into a hole. His Game Talents in number 2, and it's just so clean-cut and methodical at the moment.
We can even see the bottom lane outer turret is going to be falling shortly as well for Team WE. Seems like they're keeping alive a little bit longer, just to deny more minions. So the first structure is going to fall down, which puts Team WE 5,000 gold ahead of Game Talents.
Yeah, this is
a sizable lead.
Like without structures actually falling down, they were 4k up. Means it's going to grow further if they utilize those advantages. Mid lane turrets against a Kassadin. Kassadin doesn't have a lot of wave clear, so they'll need to actually start rotating the Ezreal and Karma towards the middle.
Yep.
To damage control what is a giant lead already established. On the top side of the map, they've actually already started these movements. You get a gold lead, you accelerate that gold lead by getting objectives. WE have recognized that it's time to call to action.
Well, let's see what they're going to be able to do here, because they have to fight from behind. Very easy task against a team like Team WE, especially when they have champions that can scale quite well into the late game. Game Talents are going to be able to try and respond to the structures being taken down by taking down one of their own in the bottom lane. PentaQ, Savoki, and wushuang try to take down the bot lane outer turret. But Team WE do the exact same thing just on the top side of the map with Mystic and Zero moving up towards that side of the rift.
Yeah, and they've got the Runan's Hurricane as well on the Ashe, so they'll be pushing the wave pretty fast. We've even got 2 people down here from WE looking to defend this one. It'll be a 5-man dive on them, though, if they keep at this.
Well, let's see what's going to happen here. So wushuang actually looking to try and dive into 957, tanking the turret a little bit there. GimGoon just runs around the back.
Yeah, Viktor was already here as well. Diffusal well and truly in place. And they're teleporting top lane to try and defend it now.
Republic actually looking to try and take down Mystic here. Another teleport's going to be coming out. Mystic has to be a little bit careful. Rift walks his way out of danger.
The Republic can't afford to 1v2 them. He can still hold. So the end result's a trade.
Good damage coming out from the True Shot Barrage as well to stop them from pushing any further.
Look at Condi. In the face of wushuang, just goes to those Raptors.
This is mine.
Yeah, and takes them away from him.
This no longer belongs to you, wushuang.
And the top side of the jungle did just belong to WE. So just taking what he can for free from this. No Drake to be seen, no Rift Herald to be seen. Just gold wanting to be earned.
It looks like they're going to try and siege up the mid lane outer turret here. Republic's going to move back towards the mid lane and stop that one though.
And going bottom as well from Mystic. No turret to take and the minions already pushing. It's going to be a lot of time wasted from him down there. But because Viktor doesn't want a side lane either, only has magic resistance to his name. And perhaps this is the route that they take. The Mystic, the turret taker. xiye, the farm clearer.
It's been a little bit quiet between these two teams after Team WE found their initial lead. And I think that favors Team WE at the moment. More than happy to just sit back and farm up and wait for more objectives to spawn to fight game talents at.
You think so?
I think so.
I think it favors them. 6,000 gold. I think it favors them. Plus it's just WE. I'll see you in 40 minutes. The game will be over then, one way or another. GT, they're actually not very good at playing from behind as well. They kind of just sit there and hope you make a mistake. As that was a teleport.
Hello.
I guess he just wanted to be back mid lane.
Well, he got there. That was one way to do it.
Yeah, now he has no teleport, so that's a lot of effort for a blue steal. I don't blame them for doing this. Getting blue on that Viktor is quite valuable. They don't have one of their own. They have to play this next part by ear.
And they're able to take it down. xiye gets that.
4 people on the bottom side of the map.
Dragon is going to be spawning in a minute, so having 4 people down there does make a little bit of sense to try and siege your objective.
There's a window for Viktor to drop his Chaos Storm. If he wants to just harass them and look towards the objective, but Karma's wave clear, Ezreal's wave clear, could help them out a little bit in situations like this. So it's a slow play from Team WE, looking for the Drake primarily, but just pulling GT around the map, trying to force them to respond and defend things, not actually giving them gold advantages at the same time.
GimGoon, though, meanwhile, was able to get some decent damage onto the top lane outer turret and force 957 back up top. His teleport is still down, so GimGoon has a window of opportunity to use his while 957 can't.
He's just so tanky. GimGoon is not having a great time.
Nope.
Did go for the Phage, so it seems to be the consensus that at least the Phage is optimal. Here's the push mid lane.
Mid lane turret's going to get taken down here for Team WE, increasing their gold advantage as an Ashe arrow does come out, looking to try and pick off one of the members of game talents.
Now looking for that Ezreal. Hasn't got his 2 items completed yet. And the Drake now available with that Ashe arrow down. Unfortunate stuff. I don't think that means, though, that GT decide they can fight for it by any means.
They don't.
They just concede.
Team WE going to be able to take a mounted dragon for themselves and put themselves even further in the lead. This has grown to a 6,000 gold lead for Team WE.
And so it grows further and further in their hands.
20 minutes in as well.
And we're yet to see a single thing from GT besides losing this game in slow motion. I'm not a big fan of situations like this. You know you're against a cerebral macro team. They're going to chase you around the map. They're going to draw you to certain places that they want you to fight them at. And they'll beat you at it.
You know, this is honestly not the wushuang that we normally see. He's been passively farming, getting one up by Condi, and hasn't had much of an impact this game or last game. Very questionable series for the Game Talents jungler.
Definitely has been. Feels a little bit out of sorts. Less invading than we're used to seeing.
Yep. GimGoon had a great game 1 on his Fizz. Game 2 on this Hecarim has been neutralized by Condi, it seems.
Yeah.
As one more time, Team W going to send Mystic up towards the top side of the map to push out that lane.
We're about to see the Titanic Hydra also in the hands of Condi. A very good snowball-y item for the tank jungler. It means he'll be doing a lot of damage, have a lot of wave clear, and can even participate in clearing side lanes with his ultimate to get there.
Yep.
Effectively the teleport tool.
So wushuang actually looking to jump on top of Condi there, puts some damage down, but the Rek'Sai is rather huge.
Gives him a tickle. Walks it out. WE still looking towards the top lane though, that's why 957's hitting him.
Republic trying to do what he can to hold this wave. He does have that Rod of Ages being completed there. True Shot Barrage does come out. Not going to get enough damage down to the members of Team W collapsing on towards the turret.
And one of the big strengths that Game Talents have is the teleport flank from a Hecarim. Now that we're at 20 minutes, he has home guards naturally. So if they get that teleport off, they can look for it. There are flanking wards. You can even see one of them just got pinged out by GT. Feels like now might be the time they try and make a play.
We're going to have to at some point, or this goal is just going to grow further and further for Game Talents. They're desperately trying to wave clear here up at the top side of the map.
And they decide not to.
GimGoon's been neutralized in this bottom lane by Maokai, which is not something you want to see when you have an Ignite top laner.
They just don't know what to do.
Very stark contrast from last game. Like last game, Team WE, they were ahead across the bottom lane, mid lane, and jungle. It was really GimGoon that was holding it together. This time, though, neutralizing him has had a huge effect on the map.
I think their strategy is to bore WE to death, but that's like fighting them in their own domain.
As here comes the Ashe arrow, does come out, will lock down Republic. He's going to get chunked out as well. Has to rift walked away. Chaos Storm does get put down, but meanwhile the turret's been taken down, and wushuang is going to get taken down as well. Team WE find the fight they were looking for.
They get the jungler, so the smite is not available for a long period of time. They could look towards an objective such as the Baron.
It might.
And with Rek'Sai just recalling, he'll have his ultimate, so don't fret.
They picked it out. Both Scrying Orbs used at the same time here for Game Talent to spot out the Baron buff, which is now going to get started by Team WE. wushuang, he's still dead, like you mentioned. Can't get the smite off. The rest of the team are looking to try and collapse on top of Team W at this pit. Republic is now full health. We're looking to try and find something. They go for it. There's the Rift Walk going in. GimGoon's been locked down, though. He can't quite get the ultimate off. He's going to get taken out before he can do anything here. TWE turned quite nicely and turned their attention straight back towards the Baron. Republic goes in one more time. Bubble lands up towards a Kassadin, rooted down by the Maokai, and Mystic finds another kill.
And that's why Maokai is invaluable for this team. The bubble follows it up. Well done from Zero. Mystic on that Ashe, and this is why you have facilitating bottom lanes. The gold lead is ridiculous at 23 minutes in this game. Oof. And this is a fast-paced acceleration now from WE off a slow, really slow 10,000 gold lead that is just broken out.
And they have Baron buff as well. There's lots of items across the board. Team WE definitely going to start pushing in towards some of these lanes and look for more fights against Game Talents. That was a clinical execution. In fact, this entire game has been rather clinical from Team WE.
Yeah, the slow play. Moving GT around the map, forcing them to take fights they don't want, giving them the Ashe arrow. This is about as simple as it gets in rudimentary League of Legends. It's WE's game. And now that they can team fight at 24 minutes instead of 40 minutes, you bet that's what you're going to see.
Game Talents have yet to take the fight to Team WE, not even a single attempt. It's just been full retreat for the GT lineup. There's another inner turret's going to fall for Team WE. They've got a large creep wave that's going to be crashing on towards the bottom lane inhibitor turret. They'll slowly work to try and chip this one down. Dragon's going to be up in about a minute here, but I don't think that's the objective Team W want. They're going to be looking towards the turrets instead to try and close out this game early.
Big stack of minions were there as well. They don't choose to push with it. They're just going to play this one out slowly. The gold lead stretches. The arrow's on.
It's going to land on the PentaQ. Gets sniped off there. Xiye jumps in aggressively. wushuang going to be the next target that gets locked down. GimGoon finally finds a good ultimate, but he's only on top of Zero, who is able to get away. A double kill going on over towards Xiye. They're pushing on towards the base. This could be a very early game for Team WE.
And they watched game number 1 unfold in front of their eyes, and they bite back with a vengeance in this second one. This could well be the game.
Well, they're on top of the Nexus turrets. They've already taken down one. Republic gets locked down one more time. Wushuang looking to try and re-engage the Republic. Dashes forward again, looking for more Riftwalks, getting damage down towards a Mystic. Savoki pushes them out of the base. They're only going to get one Nexus turret. And Team W back off and try and play it safe.
Yeah, they hold the fort. But that's all they're holding. Not even sure they've got their wits about them right now, GT. They just watched the game unfold in front of their eyes as well. And just like that, gold lead too far. 0 kills on the board, 1 turret, no dragons. They are not contesting anything because they can't. They had a window. That window was really early in this game. And now it's gone.
Whew. This has just been TWE's game from start to finish, all the way from Condi doing so well up on the top side of the map.
This has been a smashing.
Now to the smashing that they've been giving to Game Talents. So Cloud Dragon is going to be falling for Team WE here. Just a little bit of extra objectives, insurance almost as well.
For a second there, I thought you forgot how to words. It was just awkward silence. I was like, hello? I was about to play-by-play, Fish. There's another arrow. Goodbye.
Great play-by-play, Rusty.
That was not play-by-play.
I can analyze that.
That was a setup. That was not a play-by-play.
Well, the arrow does not connect, so Mystic's not going to be able to find a pick for Team WE. But they're still definitely in the driver's seat with a massive gold deficit.
Yeah, they can rotate between mid and top now. The bottom lane's got those minions pushing naturally.
14,000 gold lead. The only thing that separates Team WE from a perfect game was the single turret the Game Talents took down earlier.
Yeah. And now the game just waits on another Ashe arrow or a Nami bubble to connect.
Yep. I think that Ashe arrow is back up and online. No,
That's
halfway there.
Little while to go, but they can still chip away.
957 just claps and turns on the ultimate. Wushuang tries to dive in here. Gets a good ultimate down, but there's no follow-up coming in from Game Talents. Wushuang is going to be the first to fall. The turret falls down shortly after. Chaos Storm ticking on top of Savoki and PentaQ. The laser not going to be enough to take them down, but chips them out of the lane. This is going to be another inhibitor taken down by Team WE.
Another simple inhib, big stack of minions helping them as well. Their minions were actually just winning the game.
Nexus turret's going to get taken down as well. Team WE going to be working on the Nexus, and unless they're able to find a kill here, it's going to be a near-perfect game coming out from TWE, only losing a single turret. Zero does what he can to stay alive and is able to stay alive. Republic tries to find a kill. A 15-0 finish coming in for Team WE.
1 turret away from a perfect game from Team WE. I'll tell you what, you beat them in game number 1, they come back strong. That's a dumpstering.
This is opposite day. That should be how Game Talents wins games. Game 1 should be how Team WE wins games. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen now.